How you doing, everybody? First of all, I want to address, if you're only here to understand why trucking has been changed forever, in the top comment I've pinned the actual timestamp so that way you can press on that and it will jump you forward to that portion of the video. For everyone else, hi! It's great to be talking to, talking at your smiling faces. It's been a little while. I took about a week and a half off, and this part of, or this time of year is really the time of year that you want to go for it. You want to get after it, and I'm going to be working a lot. I've taken a lot of time off, kind of this first quarter, and especially in the past about month and a half, and really just kind of took a break. Knew that I needed to take a break from kind of everything, reset myself, recharge those batteries, if you will, and we're just gonna go for it now. We're gonna be working super hard all the way through the summer, and we are gonna stick to the game plan. So I appreciate you guys hanging around through the little hiatus. I hated to kind of ruin that momentum. The channel had some incredible momentum, but you know what, it is what it is. We'll get back to it, and we're certainly gonna get back on the YouTube grind. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. You can expect a video at a minimum every other day from this point forward until I say otherwise. So thank you for sticking around. We're gonna do a quick update, and then we're gonna get into the title of this video, how trucking has changed forever, because it has. If you're a truck driver, this is fantastic news. You need to know about it. You need to be telling everybody about it. So stick around. Oh, it's good to be back. So, right out of the gate, I wound up grabbing a load out of Houston. Oh, when did I grab it? I think I grabbed that on Wednesday. I was trying to actually leave out on like Monday, and unfortunately there just wasn't a whole lot moving, and didn't even really occur to me that this past weekend for you guys was Easter weekend, and they're just, that Friday, which I took a load up to Salt Lake City, I know, and I delivered that on Friday, and unfortunately there were just so many businesses that were closed down because of Good Friday, and more specifically, kind of the major businesses that have a lot of freight that move, that uses Mercer to move their freight, they were just closed. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get anything over the weekend. We did pick up a good load that we're waiting on. You guys are watching this right now, or today. That's the load I picked up today. So it's a good load. We're gonna run over to California. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna play on the West Coast, because why not? And hopefully I can start to learn where I need to position myself. I've really been studying the load board, and certainly haven't figured it out yet. It's gonna take me a while to figure it out, but there's definitely a lot of good paying step deck freight that I'll be able to throw on this trailer. So I'm not concerned about making good money this year. I can see that it's definitely going to happen. I just need to figure out how to get to it. And unfortunately right out of the gate, not the best decision, but it's all right. It is what it is. It's going to be a learning experience. It's going to be a learning curve, and I'm not afraid of it. So bring it. So we had a lot of things happen over the break. I got to spend time with the family, and that was absolutely amazing. Loved every second of it. Just enjoyed it, enjoying the kids, and yeah, enjoying being a dad. But to talk business, we ordered some straps, and we ordered from US Cargo Control, as well as we ordered a 4-pack of furniture pads, or moving pads, or padding. And I'm really pleased with the padding. You can tell, the other pads that I have they're cheap, and they show. I've had pads that have torn on the first load that I put them on. These are much nicer, and they seem much thicker. So out of out of the gate, I'm pleased with them, but we'll see actual functionality. We'll see how well they work, and I'll keep you guys updated because spending more money on those pads, well, obviously they need to be worth it. They need to last longer in order to justify that extra expenditure. So I'll keep you guys updated with that. And then I ordered some straps. I ordered, I think, 4-inch ratchet straps. I ordered just a few more 2-inch ratchet straps because I already added to those. And then I ordered 10 40-foot straps. And so I placed that order on a Monday, and they shipped out on a Thursday. Now the reason they shipped out on Thursday is because I color coded my straps. And if you order, like, let's say the typical, like, let's say you order a 4-inch strap that is just 27 foot and it's yellow, well, it's going to be about a 2-day processing and then about a 2-day ship period. Well, this I ordered specialty. I ordered different colors, so it took an extra day in order for that processing to occur. And then the shipping actually, it took place over the weekend, so I didn't receive those until Monday. So I mean, you know, 1 week, that's phenomenal. And you know when you're gonna be home a week in advance, so, you know, take advantage of that superior pricing that they have. You know, I've checked out the straps, they're good quality, and you can save even more using the discount in the description down below. So moving forward, we also got the oversized lights put on, that light bar put onto the top of the truck, as well as we were able to clean up the top of the truck and had all those brackets taken off, had the top painted and clear coated, and it looks phenomenal. Over the remainder of this week, I'll show you guys what that looks like a little bit more in detail than what I'm gonna go to in this video. I gotta save something for later, right? So we were able to take care of that and handle all of that. Yeah, just was really pleased with the way everything went down. You know, the timing could have been a little bit better, but you know what? I mean, it is what it is. So there's the quick update, what's been going on with me on my home time and why it's been a little bit delayed for me putting out more videos. But to talk about how trucking has been changed forever, and I mean, legitimately, this is huge. And the way I'm not only going to describe to you and tell you what happened, I'm going to actually explain the possible implications that this is going to have, and it is going to send absolute ripples and waves all the way through the trucking industry, and everybody is going to be affected, not just company drivers, not just lease operators, not just small carriers, not just mega carriers. I mean, this literally affects everybody that is a CDLA operator. So I just learned about a ruling that happened in Arkansas, and actually found out about this through a Dread Pirate Trucker, and I was watching one of his videos, and I decided to go ahead and make a video about this as well, because I want as many people to know about this and to actually share this out, because, you know, stick around with me. I promise you'll understand why this has such huge implications, but everybody needs to know. So please share this video out, you know, whether you like it or not. I don't really, you know, that's really irrelevant to me. This is news, and this is something that every truck driver needs to know about, because this is certainly going to affect future decisions. So please share this out to all the different platforms, you know, the Facebook groups, wherever, share it out to, or just tell people about it, you know, do whatever you got to do, but make sure that this news actually does get spread to everybody, so that way no truck driver is being taken advantage of, and then the ripples that it's going to send out to the trucking industry are phenomenal. So as I mentioned before, in Arkansas, there was a class action lawsuit involving 3,000 truck drivers versus the trucking company PAM. And the ruling in this case, just to kind of keep it short, the judge ruled in favor of the truck drivers, saying that PAM needed to pay these truck drivers for every non-sleeping hour in the truck. And you know, there's a lot of reasons why, you know, he talks about that, but just sum it up, we're not a bunch of steering wheel holders. There's a lot more involved to this job. Now, the judge made this ruling back in October of 2018, and I'm kind of wondering why I'm just now hearing about this, and through social media nonetheless. I mean, the implications that this has are absolutely huge, but I found a quote from the judge, and I'll read it to you. "There is no ambiguity here then as to whether an employee must count as hours worked the time that an employee spends riding in a commercial truck while neither sleeping nor eating. Time thus spent is working, and any work performed while traveling must be counted as hours worked." Now, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. You know, I had an experience. I was at the Petro in Atlanta, Georgia. And while I was at this Petro, we just stopped for, I don't know, we probably stopped for coffee. But I wound up running into a gentleman that was training, and I'm not trying to throw any of these mega carriers under the bus, so I'm gonna leave the name out of it, but he was driving for one of the mega carriers, and he was complaining but rightfully so, because his last paycheck, I guess he got paid every week, his last paycheck was $9. $9. I mean, yeah, I get the whole idea of you have to pay your dues and, you need to get on the job training, but $9 is ridiculous. You can't even feed yourself, much less support a family, trying to get that on the job training and try to get through and get to at least some kind of decent wage. So the implications that this has tells me that these mega carriers are no longer going to be able to not pay their truck drivers properly. And with such high turnover rate as the trucking industry has, I mean, I don't know if this is a fact, but I've seen many different companies that have over 100% turnover rate, that they're not going to be able to get away with paying improperly. And so these companies, they're so large that they operate on pennies. And what I mean by that is, let's say company A bids or has an account with this other company to move their freight, and they go in and they say that they're going to move it for $1.40 a mile. Well, company B, which is another mega carrier, will go in and they'll undercut. So they'll say, now that the contract is up with this other company, instead of $1.40 a mile, well, we'll do it for $1.39 a mile. And this war, this wage war of these mega carriers has been going on for decades. The trucking industry has not raised their rates in decades. With this inflation and everything, and the cost of diesel going up, and just everything, the operating cost of living, the rates just haven't really risen. And that's because of this war, this undercutting war that goes on with these carriers that have so many trucks that they can't afford to lose these accounts. So rather than just, putting your foot down and everybody coming together and creating some kind of camaraderie, saying we're not going to haul cheap freight anymore, well, they couldn't operate like that, or they were going to go out of business. So it's just been undercut after undercut after undercut. Well, this ruling, that's going to stop that. So these companies that operate on such thin lines of profit margin, they're no longer going to be able to do that, because they're going to have to pay their truck drivers more. And this is certainly going to affect the larger companies. Now, when you look at the trucking industry, even though they're mega carriers and they have so many trucks, they really only have 20% of the industry. So this isn't going to be something that's going to massively affect rates in the next coming months. It's going to be a process that's going to happen over the next few years. So even though we may be heading into a recession, or we may be going to all-time lows, I don't believe that, but it's certainly possible, and it's certainly inevitable that's going to happen at some point in the future. Well, we're not going to see the lows that we used to see. So the future of freight and freight rates is going to be very, very bright. And I urge you to keep that in mind when looking at future decision, like I said, this is not going to be something that's going to happen like an earthquake. This is going to be something that is going to be like a butterfly effect, and it's going to slowly affect the trucking industry greatly. And it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to be a wonderful thing for the trucking industry. Freight rates are going to come up and everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be a great time to be a truck driver. Or it's going to actually be detrimental, and it's going to further push the agenda of autonomous trucks and trying to implement that entire system into the trucking industry. But it's going to have this butterfly effect that's going to raise kind of the bottoming out of freight over the next 10 to 20 years, in my opinion. You know, the article that I showed you guys about the ruling is from Transportation Nation Network. And I flipped through a lot of their articles and I like what I see. You know, I am not a news guy. I don't believe in all the bad news that's happening in the world. There's the old saying, there's no news like bad news. Well, Transportation Nation Network they really put out the good that's happening. So if you want to know what's happening that's good in the trucking industry, then, you know, go to their website, visit their website, check them out, and you can really keep up to date with the trucking news, the good news that's going on in this industry through them. So I thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm going to remind you, please share this out. You know, new truck drivers now, people thinking about becoming truck drivers, owner-operators, carriers, everybody needs to know about this, because this is something that you need to keep in mind, and this is something that should affect your business plan. Position yourself in a proper manner to take advantage of what is about to happen, because it's coming. But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Share this out so that way we can get this knowledge out there to the trucking industry world. I appreciate you watching, and as always, stay driven.